Hello guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to be showing you everything about my time in New Zealand. I spent about 15 days there, and the main goal of this trip was to catch up with people from my Kentucky from my Europe trip last year. But I thought I would show you some clips of things I've done there, a bit of a haul at the end. I'm also going to kind of talk through my trip and suggest things that you can do and maybe some more story times in there. But yeah, how about we get into it? For each place, I'm probably going to give you like a top 3. I think for Queensland, I have a top 5. But anyway, a lot of the time I did just spend with friends, so we didn't always do a whole lot. But let's start with the video. First stop on the trip was Auckland, New Zealand. Obviously. Duh. My top 3 for Auckland, 2 of them are actually in the same spot. One is the Auckland Museum. I love a museum. I will go to a museum anywhere I go. I love freaking museums. But we went to the museum and it had all these gorgeous exhibitions. It also had this really cool room, which is because in New Zealand they have a lot of earthquakes and natural disasters, but they had this, like, I think it was called the earthquake room, and kind of showed you what it would feel like if, it was volcano room, I don't know, showed you what it would be like if one of the volcanoes was to erupt again, which I thought was very cool and very educational. And then also, and the other place, it's actually right next to the museum, is the Auckland Domain. This is like a little greenhouse garden place. It also has this gorgeous little fountain, I guess, in it. You can get some gorgeous photos here, but it's just also so nice to look at these photos. Not photos. It's so nice to look at all these plants and all that. Me and my friend I was travelling around with, actually sat and talked here for a little while. It was really nice. And even though it was absolutely so windy and low-key painful, the Black Sand Beach, I can't fully remember its name, but this beach was gorgeous. The sand wasn't super dark when we went, but it was still really gorgeous, and we got to see these birds that I think are only on this part of the island. I think we had one of our friends kind of being like a local guide for us. He had like taken us around Auckland all of that day and showed us like these beaches and all this stuff, and we got fresh ice cream at one point, which is really cool. But yeah, Auckland has so many amazing things. It is quite a lot like Australia, I would say. Like, out of all the cities, I think I found Auckland the most similar to Australia. Christchurch. We were kind of warned Christchurch isn't the most exciting place to be. I still really enjoyed my time there. Most of Christchurch, since we were staying with our friends here, was mainly spent with them. There was a few times where they were at work and we just went and explored. Another thing besides museums that I love to do in every city, I love going to gardens and all of that around the city. So my first suggestion or place I loved in Christchurch was the Botanic Gardens. These gardens were gorgeous. At one point I think there was like a willow tree. I love willow trees. They're my favourite type of tree. Fun fact. Next thing I suggest is going on a hike or for a walk somewhere. I can't quite remember the name of the place we went hiking. I'll put it somewhere on the screen. But the views were stunning. And everyone, like every time you pass someone, everyone says hi, says hello. We went with our friends, and it was really lovely. And we also, third tradition is to go for brunch somewhere. They have so many amazing cafes in Christchurch, because we actually went for brunch and then went for a hike, and that was a really lovely morning. And then oh my god, story time. When we went out that night, I in fact fainted. It's very strange. Luckily, my friends' roommates were there and were able to help basically carry me out of there, but that was very embarrassing. But everyone was very sweet and just pretended it didn't happen, so that was lovely. And then the third and final place that we went was Queenstown. There were so many other places I would have loved to go if I had more time, but these were the main three. The first two, we had friends who were there, and then Queenstown we just wanted to go to because it's so gorgeous. I also have some family friends who were there, so they let us stay with them, which we were very grateful for. I also have a top 5 for Queenstown because it's just gorgeous. Oh, and honorable mention, Cookie Time. Loved our fresh cookie from Cookie Time. That was delicious. Random fact, but love Cookie Time. I think I even got some. I think it's in my haul. I'm filming this long after I filmed the haul. Whoops. Number 1 is going to the hot pools. We went to Onsen hot pools, and it's basically just a spa, but with the most amazing view. It was like gorgeous. I think we had a private room for like an hour, and obviously after we get our little pickies, it was so nice to just sit in there and relax. Next up, I recommend going to Arrowtown. Arrowtown was so cute. It had like all these little shops. It's kind of preserved in time. What time? I can't remember. Maybe I'll put it on the screen. Maybe I'll be too lazy to do that. They had lots of cute shops and little cafes. Had my first meat pie here. I had a butter chicken pie. Not bad. Probably not. I'm probably still a sausage roll kind of gal, but not bad. Not bad at all. Another little. I guess Arrowtown isn't actually a town. It's just part of Queenstown. But I recommend going to Glenorchy, which is like a little, like literally like 2 streets of a little town. It's about, I think, an hour outside of Queenstown. We also stopped at a lookout on the way, which also had stunning views. It was kind of giving Forks, Washington vibes, like Twilight vibes. But lookout was gorgeous. Glenorchy was all gorgeous. We went to this really cute shop there that had all these like New Zealand made things, which you will see in the haul. And then another thing that I literally have recommended for every place we've gone was the local, like, the city's park, I guess. This was my favourite one by far, just from how stunning this lake was. There was a lake in this park. I guess the park is connected to the lake. I don't know. But it was breathtaking. Like, I literally gasped when I saw this. Stopped in my tracks. Amazing. Gorgeous. Here are some pictures just to prove how gorgeous this place was. But we also went for a walk around here, and I could literally just sit and stare at that water for hours. The water was pretty cold. Probably wouldn't go for a swim. But maybe when it's warmer. I don't know if it gets warmer there. We did go in summer. And it wasn't warm then, but literally one day I had to have like a jumper, a jacket, a scarf, and a beanie on. It was freezing. But recommend nonetheless, even if you don't go for a swim. And then the last thing that we did, this was on our last day there, we went on this like giant swing thing. You like drop 70 feet and swing 300 meters, I think. 300 feet maybe. It was so much fun. I kind of also wish I went bungee jumping, but I guess I shall save that for another trip. The fall is so much fun. Recommend even if it isn't bungee jumping or giant swing, there are so many like adventurous things you can do in Queenstown. It's like, I'm gonna make this fact up. It's like the adventure capital of New Zealand, maybe. But they're like jet boats, speedboat things. There's like these little boats that go under the water. There's bungee jumping. There's swings. There's all these things. I would love to go back in winter and go skiing here. I think that would be so much fun. Do I ski? No. I could learn. I could do it. I don't have great balance, but I could do it. Love to go back and do that. That is definitely on the bucket list of life. But yeah, we went on this giant swing. So much fun, and may or may not have gone on a date with a guy who worked there that night, and then went home the next day. Shout out that guy. We don't talk anymore. But that was fun. Crazy little. Had to have something to tell the gals when I got home. Anyway, I also really want to print my photos from this trip and my Europe trip, which is gonna cost me a pretty penny because I've waited this long and I probably have like 1,000 photos from Europe, at least 500, at least 200 from New Zealand. So anyway, so yes, I highly recommend going to New Zealand. I would love to go back myself, honestly. Such a gorgeous place to visit. If anyone has any questions about travelling to New Zealand or just in general, let me know. There's probably so much more I could tell you about this trip, but I think I've covered the basis of it. So if you have any questions, let me know down below. Thank you so much for listening to me ramble. Now we shall get into the haul. Thought I would give you a little haul of everything I bought. Didn't buy a whole lot. I was only there for 15 days, and the clothes shops we have basically here as well in Australia, so I didn't buy any clothes, but I did buy a few little bits and bobs. And this first thing, I've decided I'm now, like with my travels, I'm going to try and buy like something that I can either turn into an ornament or is kind of ready to be an ornament. So then one day when I have my own Christmas tree and I'm not living at home, I can have like this tree full of places that I've been. Really wish I bought one in Europe, but maybe I have something in Europe I can turn into an ornament or something. I don't know. So the first thing I got is this gorgeous little, we're going to call it an ornament. I did see these in a few places around New Zealand, but I got this one from the Auckland Museum, which is so cute. And I believe this means love. I think. I'm not 100% sure. Well, I'm guessing it's a love heart. That sounds kind of like that obvious, but yeah, this is like, I saw them in a few other places, but I never saw one with this fabric, and it is my favourite that I saw. So lucky I got that one. And then also in Auckland, I got these cute little earrings from like, I think it was like a crystal-y kind of boho shop. I love the little pattern on those. Also me and my friend found a little photo booth who I was travelling with. Found this little photo booth, but it was like up high. It was like kind of cool and different. Continue on the trend from my Europe trip, I bought a postcard everywhere I went. And then this was my Auckland one. My Christchurch one, I didn't realise the name was like Christchurch, but that one, and then this one for Queenstown. I'm not normally a magnet person, like I never buy magnets wherever I go, but this one was too cute to not. So it's got like the map of New Zealand and then all these smaller magnets that you can like move around. Next thing I got is a little Smisky keychain. I saw this, I think we were also in Auckland when this happened, but it comes in like one of these little, what are they called? Gotcha. One of the little mystery ball things like that you put the coin in. I got this little guy who is like pushing. Next I came across a lolly store, and I love a lolly store. And this one had like little, I think these are Swedish lollies in it that I've wanted to try forever. To ceramics. In Auckland there was like this little tile in like the sidewalk, like kind of etched in or kind of placed in there. When I was in Queenstown, I found this little hanging tile that was a lot like it. Yeah, how gorgeous is that? And it has like a little thing back here so you can hang it. I got this gorgeous little like cup. I think I'm going to use it to like mix up my chai powder before I put it in my drink. But yeah, like, look how stunning the colours. Oh, I forgot. From the same shop, I also got these wool socks. They're so soft and definitely going to keep me nice and toasty in winter. I hope you have enjoyed watching this video. I hope to see you next time. Thank you for watching and goodbye.